This video is brought to you by Sad Looking Dog. Just kidding, guys. This is Bass Player 1549 here, coming back to you guys with a movie review. Many of you who have watched my Godzilla Art of Destruction book review have probably noticed that I did say that I would be doing a movie or a review on the movie Godzilla. And Kaleo is wondering why I am talking to myself. Why am I talking to myself, boo-boo? He seems more focused with the outside. As you can see, I am in my living room. Couch is all messed up because my dog lays right on top of it. Anyway, guys, yeah, I want to get into the movie. I want to talk about it. I want to review it. I want to clear some things up with some of the people who think that it sucked. And believe me, there are a lot of people, believe it or not. I mean, a lot of people have been hyped up for this movie, thought it was going to be amazing, only to have their hopes let down, which I don't understand how. But let's get into it. Cleo's already yawning. I guess my review isn't that good. But sorry for the lack of background, guys. There was really no other background I could have picked. This is so funny. Alright, so let's get into the review. I thought it was good. Simple as that. I thought it was awesome. Gareth Edwards is a genius. Now, keep in mind, guys, he is an amateur. He's what you consider an amateur director. He has only had one film that he has directed before Godzilla, which was a kind of low-budget English film called Monsters, filmed over in the UK, I believe. I'm not sure if it was filmed in the United States or not. I don't think it was, because it was never promoted here. I actually watched it. I thought it was good too. I mean, this guy has a very unique way of directing. He tends to, with monster movies, he tends to keep to the human scale of things. People on the ground looking up and seeing these massive creatures fight. I mean, I personally love that. I think that is a major reason why I love this movie. There is no shaky cam. There is absolutely, the shots are crisp, they're clear, you can see everything that's going on, and Cleo already fell asleep, because this must be really boring for him. But yeah, that was one of the main reasons why I love this movie, because everything was very fluid. There was no, like I said, no shaky cam. You could tell you could tell everything that was going on, and it was very satisfying. Believe it or not, guys, my favorite part of this whole movie, and this might shock a few people, was the opening credits. I loved the opening credits. Every single time I watch the opening credits, I've seen this movie 3 times now. Once in 3D and twice on the super screen, which is our local, it's bigger than a normal theater screen. And every single time that I watch the opening credits, I just get goosebumps for some reason. It's the score, the music. I mean, telling the story about how they were trying to kill Godzilla in the Pacific, or in the islands, you know, with the nuclear bomb. I mean, it just all worked. It was perfect. And then the bomb goes off, and then it just fades to white, and then you see the actual title, which again gave me goosebumps. Just, oh my god, I love this movie. I really did. Now let's get into the designs of the monsters. Godzilla was perfectly designed. Homages to the original 54 version. Standing upright. The spikes on the back were perfectly designed. For those of you who have seen the Art of Destruction book, some of the designs in there really did not work for me. So I'm glad they went with this design instead. His head, a lot of people say it was too small. I thought it was perfectly proportioned. Most of the times when you saw Godzilla, he was rearing, he wasn't standing straight up. He was rearing down, and then that made his head look bigger. But even in the shots where he was standing up, his head looked fine. I'm trying to think, what else. Yeah, that's pretty much it with Godzilla. I thought he was perfectly designed. The Mutos, my god. I mean, no disrespect to Toho, but these creatures were knocked out of the park, design-wise. I mean, the sounds that they make. That was the thing that really, really intrigued me, was the sounds that they made. When the female Muto was... Oh yeah, by the way, guys, there will be spoilers in this, so... I mean, many of you have already seen the movie, so you really don't care, but there will be spoilers. When the female Muto is stalking the bridge that Aaron Taylor Johnson is laying down on, and her head goes underneath the bridge, and you can see the radiation in her eye socket thing. When it it made that clicking sound. I started nerding out like really bad. Like that was just so cool. The male was amazingly designed once again. That was the flying one. The wing almost looked like a cape when it was walking, which was totally worked. It really did. Like I said, I mean the male. Yeah, I'm in awe. I can't really explain it because it was just such a perfectly designed movie. It was. Now let's go into some of the things that people were complaining about. Number one, the main thing seems to be Godzilla didn't have enough screen time. I don't know where somebody would actually... I mean, I can see it, but I don't understand how that affected the movie in any way. I mean, the scenes, they flowed within each other. Like, they would show the Godzilla fighting the Mutos, and then it would skip to, like, Aaron Taylor Johnson and the soldiers, which were completing a mission on the ground, trying to get the nuke from the nest. Which it flowed relatively well. It would go to the monsters, go back down to the humans, go back to the monsters, down to the humans. I don't think that affected the movie in any way negatively. I really don't. I really do not see it. But, you know, you got those hardcore fans out there that thought this movie was just going to be a 2-hour monster fight fest, and who would want that? Human emotion is what makes a film. Human emotion. It could have dinosaurs. It could have giant kaiju. It could have a giant snake. It could be a giant bear. Human emotion is what makes a film. So they have to have a human story. If it's just monsters, that's not interesting. That's what they make Disney movies for. Like the Disney's Dinosaur. Not saying that was a bad movie, but, I mean, well, actually, it did have human emotion because it was voiced by human actors. But you know what I mean, though. It has to have a human-driven story. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And I thought it intertwined perfectly. Godzilla may not have had our screen time, but who cares? When he was on screen, he was freaking amazing. I was totally happy. I smiled. I laughed. I screamed. I said, wow, that was awesome. Gareth Edwards is a tease. He is. But I like that. I like that you didn't get everything at once. You had to be waited till the end. And even if the ending was only 5 minutes, big deal. It was freaking awesome 5 minutes. So that was the major complaint people had, that Godzilla didn't have enough screen time. Number 2 will be the Aaron Taylor Johnson being bland. And I'll have to agree with this. Aaron Taylor Johnson is not really the best actor in the world. He had a hard act to follow after the death, spoiler alert, death of Bryan Cranston. Bryan Cranston just, many people already know this, he just knocked it out of the park. He was completely controlled. He made the best performance I think ever. I haven't really watched Breaking Bad and didn't really get into that. I barely watched Malcolm in the Middle. I'm not really sure what other movie he's been in, but I mean, I guess he's doing plays on Broadway now. I mean, he is a great actor. And Aaron Taylor Johnson had to fill those shoes, and he did not live up to that. I'm sorry. He's a good actor, but he did not live up to Bryan Cranston. Elizabeth Olsen, once again, very hard shoes to follow. Juliette Binoche barely had any scenes, but her performance was even great. I mean, but once again, Elizabeth Olsen, Aaron Taylor Johnson, they had a hard act to follow, and they did not live up to my expectations and the expectations of everybody else. But it's still, like I said, it worked. It was fine. I really didn't notice that much as, you know, some of the other things. Holy crap, this video's already at 10 minutes. I'm trying to think of what else I can cover. The ending was awesome. I mean, it was very classic G style of him walking back to the ocean. But yeah, I think I pretty much covered whatever I need to cover. Sorry if this was like a ramble, but I had to express my opinions because all the people that are bashing this movie because Godzilla did not get enough screen time. I mean, think of the classics. Think of Gojira. Godzilla was on screen for what, 10, 15 minutes? Same exact thing. I mean, you have to have a human story. If you don't have a human story, the movie is not going to excel. Simple as that. So for the people that were anticipating to be an hour of battles, I mean, you're crazy. This is not Pacific Rim. This movie had a backstory. This movie had a plot. I mean, I know there are holes, but all movies have holes, plot holes. One more thing before I go. Another thing that people are really, really upset about is the battle between the male Muto and Godzilla at the airport. You know, you get this big reveal, Godzilla's foot coming down. They pan up, and he just lets out this earth-shattering roar, which completely shook the theater. I had goosebumps again. I jumped out of my seat. I mean, the theater shook after he roared. And then it cuts to Aaron Taylor Johnson's son falling asleep on the couch, and there's a newscast on. It actually shows the battle on the newscast. And everybody was just bashing and saying, oh, why didn't you just show the battle in real life, in the full thing? Why did you have to cut through to the news station? All right, for one, the battle didn't really look like it was a battle. It just looked like the male Muto hopped on Godzilla's head twice and then flew away. Like, why would they even, like, waste the money to actually put the full shot in the movie? Now, I'm not sure if they actually filmed it that way, and it might be in a director's cut later on if they release it, but it's just a waste of... I mean, I like the way they did that. I thought it was nice that they put it on the screen and not actually shoot it in real life, because it only lasted, like, 5 seconds, 10 seconds anyway. I don't understand why people are so mad about that, but people are just angry. They're like, oh my god, this movie sucked. Why didn't they show the Hawaii scene? Why didn't they show more Las Vegas destruction? Why didn't they... I mean, it's just like, oh my god, people, just settle down and enjoy it. It was an awesome movie. I give it 9 stars out of 10. It obviously had its flaws, but I'm not a professional reviewer, so I don't know. I'm just here to ramble, okay? Looks like Kaleo fell asleep, and I'm sure all of you have too. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is Baseplay 54 and I signing out. Goodbye, guys.